team press conferences. We are transcribing the press conference, so we ask that you ask the microphones any questions. Floor is open for questions for Jim or the players.
Well, guys, almost all of you, except for Jim and Mike, played Serbia 2 weeks ago. For whoever wants to take it, or Sam, John, Mike, can you talk about how you feel like you guys have evolved really as a team since then? And it was obviously really tight then, and what your part was done then.
I'll get mine out of the way. Yeah, we were all there. I mean, you know, both these guys were here, even though only Bob was playing. But it was a tight tie. John lost a tight 5-set to Novak, which could have gone either way. You know, so I think we're a better team now. I think all of us are playing better. I think we like our chances. I think if we play aggressive and play well, we can win this tie. And you know, we've always been close, even outside of Davis Cup. We hang out a lot. We go out to dinner. So we kind of feel like the team part of it is not just during the Davis Cup weeks. It's kind of a year-long thing, and so we're always tight, always close, always cheering each other on. And you know, I think we're ready for this week.
Mike and Bob, just talk about your experiences with the Idaho sneakers and returning to Boise.
Yeah, we were here 15 years ago. We actually stayed at the same hotel, played in that little arena where we're watching the ice hockey and the D-League basketball. But we had a great time. Obviously, it's a beautiful city. I remember we went, river rafting and went hiking in the mountains. So we're happy to be back, and this will be a little bit more big time than that, and we're looking forward to a great time.
Jim, can you tell us about when the team arrived and what you've been doing for the last couple of days?
Sure, everyone got here on Saturday, and we've been tucked into the hotel on the practice courts since then. It's a beautiful city, as Mike said, but we're looking at it mostly from the team van and the hotel. We're here for some tennis. Obviously, we're here to take on a very capable and dangerous opponent. So we're focused on the task at hand.
Can I just ask one more real quick? Sam, can you talk about the last time you faced off with Djokovic? Was that in Paris?
No, I played Indian Wells about 3 weeks ago.
Can you? I'm sorry. Could you talk about the Paris tournament when you did beat him?
Just talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell us what the dynamic of that was and what you learned from that match.
Came out a little slow. Went down 6-0 in that first set, but then finally held serve and got my feet under the match a little bit. And I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I just served big, went for my shots. Played high percentage tennis, and played well the entire day, and eventually got a break there in that third set, and ended up kept holding and won the match. But it was nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't do anything special or anything. I just played solid and well the whole match.
Sam and John, for both of you guys, you have played doubles against Bob and Mike. What makes them so difficult to beat as a doubles team?
I guess it's the fact that they've been playing with each other for such a long time. They seem to know where each other is on the court at all times, and obviously they're very comfortable playing with each other. I still believe that Sam and I are due. Someday, eventually, we've had a couple of opportunities, but we can never seem to win the big points on these guys. But that's why they're the best team in the world, and that's why, in my opinion, they're the greatest team of all time. And I think I speak for Sam and Courier and Captain Courier that we're very fortunate to have them on our team. We rely heavily on them, and their Davis Cup record is pretty impressive. So, as I said, we're lucky to have them on our side.
Sam, from your perspective, what's it like playing against those two?
I mean, pretty much the same. They're always in position for every shot. They, you know, they both have great serves, great returns, great volleys. You know, they move well together. And, you know, it's always, it's a pain playing them. It's just, I think we're 0-6 or 0-7 against them, and you know, they always have a great game plan. You know, they're always they know what they're doing out there, so it's tough.
What's the
In
number?
case you're wondering, I'm 0-12 with various partners. Everyone. Can't beat all.
And John, Sam again. Novak, obviously, you guys are both going to have to face him this week. What's made him, particularly the last 2-3 years, what has made him so difficult to beat?
I mean, his return and backhand are, you know, arguably the best in the game, and his movement is probably the best. So those three things alone are extremely difficult. But he does everything well. He's got an amazing all-around game, great competitor, makes you earn every point, and you know, it's if we're gonna beat him this week, we're gonna have to play well. We're gonna have to serve big and take advantage of the you know, the shorter balls we get and those big points, and hopefully we can come away with some wins.
Yeah, and he's the best player in the world right now. He's been the best player for the last few years. He's supremely confident, and that comes from winning so many matches, which he's done throughout his whole career, but especially the last 3 years. And Sam said he really does not have a weakness. He's solid all around, and you know, there's a reason he's #1 in the world. He's just good at everything. But Sam and I have beaten him before, and you know, we're going to take the court believing that we can beat him again. But we're going to certainly have to play very, very well to have any chance. If we don't play so well, it might not look so good. So it's a tough challenge, but I think we're both ready for it.
John, on that point, do you have to give yourself an extra element of belief when you're coming up against somebody like Djokovic in a Davis Cup tie compared to a match on the regular tour?
Yeah, you know, in Davis Cup is when it brings out the best competitors in everyone. So Sam and I are going to both, you know, lay it all out there and see how it goes. I think we're certainly not, you know, not scared. We're going to take the court believing we can win. I think that's the most important part, more than anything else. Take the court with that belief is it could go a long way.
For any of you guys, you know, this is the first time anything like this has been in Boise. What do you guys expect out of the crowd? What is the crowd's role in something like this?
Yeah, I mean, the crowd's role is to be vocal. That's why playing at home is a big advantage. Davis Cup's really unlike any other tour event. The fans have pom-poms, their faces are painted, you'll see the flags out everywhere. We've had great experience in the past with Davis Cups, you know, being sold out, packed, and really carrying the squad through in tough moments. And I expect Boise, it's a great tennis town. We have the legendary Greg Patton here, who's really built tennis in this area. And I'm sure he's going to get his troops out behind us, and my dad will be here, and it'll be a fun time.
On that note, though, there are tickets available still in all price categories except courtside, and they're sold now both as a 3-day package or individual Friday, Saturday, and Sunday tickets. So if you can help us communicate that as well to make sure the house is full.
Mike, can you guys talk about facing, I'm going to butcher his name, you know who I mean. Somebody you're really familiar with, and I guess probably play with Troy Key, always possible to know that. Is that an advantage that you know his game so well?
Yeah, I mean, it's an advantage for him that he's played it so many times. It's an advantage for us. When you get in these situations, when you play guys 30 times, you try to throw in something new. Our coach was out there in Miami watching him a little bit, seeing if he's doing anything different. You know, he's a legend of the game, especially in the last 10 years. He's finished #1. He's won Grand Slams. He's played in big matches all over the world. You know, we've beaten him many times, and same on the reverse side. So we're confident, we're playing well. We've had a great year so far. We got a great coach on the bench with us. A great coach back home who's going to send, put in his 2 cents, and just about executing on the day.
To both Mike and Bob, I know you're passionate about Davis Cup, but when do you really start thinking about a tie? When do you start getting into a frame of mind specifically about a Davis Cup tie? And how different is that from regular?
Started thinking about it, right when we lost to Miami. Just working on things for this particular team, Zimonich and Chorky. It's way in advance. Once we lost that last tie, I was itching to play this next tie to try to rebound for the team. We want to do our job this time and play good tennis, but it's always on our mind. It's one of our top goals coming into the year. So it's a long-term goal, but it's also short-term when you're practicing, getting ready for it. We're very passionate about Davis Cup, and we treat these matches like they're Grand Slam finals. So we put everything.
Mike and Bob, can you just kind of go through your history together a little bit? Have you guys played doubles together since you were 5 years old, or what is your history together, and what's that been like to have that kind of relationship with a brother?
Yeah, we're twins, and the twin bonds goes a lot deeper than normal brothers. We get in brawls all the time, just like normal brothers, but we drop it. We don't hold grudges, and we're always going to stay loyal to each other. We've played tournaments since we were age 6, and played at every level, high school tennis together, college, and played at pretty much every match on the tour together, except for 1 or 2 when one of us was sick. So, I've seen him in every situation. I kind of know what to say to him when he's doing down, and a lot of times we do our best when we don't speak too much. It's kind of that unspoken language, and when we're not thinking and we're just flowing on the court, that's when we're really good. So. Yeah, there's not really one leader on the team. It's just we both have our roles, and we're having a lot of fun out here together. I think this is what we were born to do, is play doubles, and being twins just makes it that much easier.
Jimmy, as the years have gone on for yourself as captain, has it become easier or tougher?
I think it's become easier, Craig, because these guys have played together as a team quite often when Patrick was a captain. So I was the outsider coming in trying to integrate into what they'd already built. And I think now we've had enough time in the trenches together that there's a sense of ease and comfort, and particularly, as these guys were talking about, as Bob was saying, these guys play together all the time. Getting in the middle of them can be a mistake a lot of times. And for me, trying to figure out when to lay out and when to lay in that was a trick, but I feel like I've got a better handle on it now, and we just built a bond together as a team, having gone through some road matches, which quite frankly sometimes are a little bit more strenuous, and they also bring you together because you're fighting against so many other elements than just the opponents across the net. So I feel like I've become a better captain. I hope I've become a better captain, but by no means do I know it all. I have a lot to learn. It's an ongoing process, but I feel much more comfortable and at ease in the role than I was when starting out a couple of years ago.
Mike or Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you guys have played here before at Taco Bell Arena in Boise. Is that correct?
I'm not sure it was this arena. I think it was the one.
That
in the Grove.
Oh, yeah. Grove. Okay. CenturyLink Arena. What was it like that time? Do you draw upon that, maybe at all, that experience and how the fans came out to support you guys?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I think it was in '99. We played a full season for the WTT sneakers, the Idaho sneakers at the time, and we had a lot of fun. We were just fresh out of college, happy to be on the tour. Living and dying with every match. Even though it didn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things, we had a great time. We competed hard. It's great to be back. We met some friends there. Obviously, we've known Greg forever. Great family friend, and it's good to see him here. And yeah, it's just great to be back in a beautiful city like this.
John, sounds like Troyke may be the guy that plays the most tennis of anybody this week, and he's sort of a little under the radar guy for those of us that don't follow tennis that closely. What should people expect out of him? You've seen him before.
Well, he's a world-class player, that's for sure. Anybody at this level is, and he actually has a lot of experience in Davis Cup. He clinched their championship 2 years ago. He was the fifth rubber, right? Yeah, he won the fifth rubber against France in Serbia. So I think that's probably if you ask him, it's probably the highlight of his career. That was a huge moment for their team, for their country. They won the Davis Cup. That's pretty special. So he's no stranger to this competition, and he's been.
That's my wedding ring, guys. Don't tell my wife.
Okay, wow. I'm gonna test my fortitude here. No, he's won a lot of matches on tour. I believe has he beaten you before ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's beaten both Sam and I before, and we've played him each a handful of times. So just as a Novak, we're gonna have to play well if we want to beat him. He's a very good player.
Anyone that wants to answer this, how important is this to you guys to be playing for Team USA? For the casual tennis fan that doesn't follow the Davis Cup, how important is this event?
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge for us.
It's really important for his wife.
Yeah. We've dreamed about playing Davis Cup since we were little. We watched it when we were 10 years old. It really kind of put a racket in our hand, and we fell in love with the game. To do this for our country and play for our teammates in a crowd like this, there's nothing like it. We get goosebumps every time we walk out on a court like this. So it's everything. That's why we played for the last 10 years, and we'll continue to play as long as Jim calls us up.
And Jim, on that point, can you speak to what Davis Cup does for a player once they obviously part ways and they make their way through the tour? Does it propel a player?
I think so. I think the pressure that a player feels in Davis Cup is unlike anything that they'll feel the rest of the year, because you're playing for your teammates and you're playing for the flag on your back. They don't call game Query, they don't call game Brian, they call game USA. So it's a different kind of pressure, different kind of expectation. My personal experience was that it felt so much easier to go play just for myself after playing Davis Cup. It felt like there was, a level of freedom that comes from having gone through this trial by fire, which is what every Davis Cup match is for every player. It's a great mental test, Davis Cup.
Guys, this is for any of you. What have you noticed about the court setup? I haven't seen a lot of tennis setups like that in person, but the court was laid down on a concrete floor. And in terms of where the fans are, how close they are to the court, how does this compare to other arenas you've been in?
All right, Sam, you take
it. All right.
You stumped him.
For the most part, we play our home ties in indoor arenas similar to this one. The court that was laid down, it's felt great all week. The arenas, you feel like the crowd. I think we're going to feel like the crowd's on top of us, which we like. It's got a good feeling out there. The speed of the court's good. The ball bounces, into our strike zone, which we like. And it's not. The actual court itself in arena is not too different than some we've played in the past, but which I think is good for us. We've seen something similar to that before, and we like that kind of atmosphere in there.
We tried to get cow dung, and they wouldn't let us.
You don't have to go far around here.
Jim, you've had these guys together for a couple of days. What have you thought of the way they're playing, the way they're practicing in the last few days?
I think everyone's feeling better and better as you get acclimatized to the court speed and the elements here and the sight lines in the building. I think everything becomes easier, and so far we're really happy with the practices.
It doesn't happen very often where players who are still playing get the Davis Cup Commitment Award. How do you guys feel about that?
feels good to get that award. I mean, we are committed to Davis Cup. That's a really big part of our career, and it's one of the reasons why we stopped playing singles so early. We wanted to focus on doubles and try to get on that Davis Cup team, and we'll be committed as long as we get the nod. So yeah, it feels great to get that award. Is that a new award for this year?
It's an ongoing thing every year.
Yeah, it's special. It's gonna trophy will go right next to some of the big ones.
One last question, Jim. Might be hard for you to remove the tennis aspect of this event, but can you describe to the people of Boise what this USA versus Serbia tie is in their town, the chance of seeing world #1 in their town, what kind of opportunity that is, and what they might experience if they come?
You bet, Tim. Well, Davis Cup, for those who will be reading your stories and watching the newscasts tonight and tomorrow, is very much like college football or college basketball as far as the partisan crowd goes. We will have a crowd that will be very animated. If you watch the US Open and you watch Wimbledon, you will not recognize what you see on the Davis Cup court, because the crowd will be, in effect, a second or a third player behind these guys when they're out there playing. So that's very different. And I think there'll be a pretty sizable Serbian contingent as well, probably a bunch of Serbian Americans that will have traveled in to see Novak play. It's not every day that people get to see the world's #1 player in America. He only plays in 4 tournaments in the United States: Palm Springs, Miami, Cincinnati, and the US Open. So this will be the only other city that will see Novak Djokovic in the United States besides those. So that, in and of itself, for the casual sports fan that is not that passionate about tennis, makes it worthwhile to come out and see this event. But it's a chance to see our nation's best players battling the world's best in a really unique setting. How do I do, Tim? Is that okay? All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you guys later on.
Thank you, Jim.